We'll be crossing over live when our team on the ground advises. So for now, a section of political leaders are currently speaking, and pictures on your screen are coming live from the county of Busia, but we'll be getting over to Busia later on in this bulletin. But for now, transport along the busy Meru-Maua highway was brought to a standstill as irate mourners demanded justice for their kin. The mourners blocked the busy road, demanding answers following the killing of a man whose body was found dumped on the road with stab wounds.
These were the scenes along the busy highway, and for nearly 5 hours, motorists could not access the road as angry mourners demanded answers on the death of their kin. The mourners, who were ferrying the body of the deceased for burial, removed the casket from the vehicle and put it on the road, where his lifeless body was recovered.
Alikuwa anafanya kazi ya miraa. Unasikia? Sasa alikutoka kununulia watoto chakula, anauliwa hapa. Tukipika ripoti hakuna, hata sisi hatuwezi toka usiku. So afadhali tusike mwili hapa, tuwezi toka hapa, mpaka DCI wakuja hapa watuambie kwa nini mtu anauliwa na watu wasiku.
Hapa tuweka security ndio tuweze kufanya kazi yetu mchana na usiku.
The deceased Moses Kinywa is reported to have been attacked while he was walking home. He succumbed to stab wounds, having been attacked severally with a knife. It took the intervention of Meru Senator Kathuri Murungi to calm the mourners, pledging to follow up on the matter.
Mimi nimechukua. Ndio. Sasa tungoje OCS akuje achukue kazi yake. Sawa sawa. Tueleze ni kwa nini wote. Sawa sawa mkuu.
The residents want the police to beef up security and bring the culprits to book.
Machakos County will partner with relevant agencies to wage war against sexual and gender-based violence. A rescue center that will help rehabilitate the GBV victims will also be completed by the end of the year. Speaking when he flagged off the Power of Humanity walk at Machakos Stadium, Gender CEC Onesimus Moasia urged residents to speak out on cases of GBV and report violations to law enforcement agencies for swift action.
Tuko na nyumba ama mahali tumetengeneza kama Machakos County Government pa kuweka wale wamedhulumiwa. Tulikuwa tunatafuta fedha za kuhakikisha hiyo nyumba yetu imeanza operesheni pale People's Park. Tunataka kutoa ilani kali sana kwa wale wanaotoa dhuluma za kijinsia, kwa sababu in Machakos County Government hii itakuwa jambo la lililopita. Haitafanyika tena kwa uongozi wake, kwa uongozi wake wa Vinya Ndeti, hiyo mambo haitafanyika tena.
It was pomp and color as uniformed officers temporarily put down their work tools and picked up the Bible for a joint Thanksgiving ceremony with their families. The event, held annually, was in honor of the men and women who risked their lives to protect the country's borders from external threats and internal unrest. The spouse of the Deputy President, Pastor Rigathi Dorcas, who graced the event, pledged to work with the Office of the Inspector General to ensure uniformed officers formalize their unions in church as part of efforts to promote the family unit.
It is said that music is the food for the soul. And members of the disciplined forces and their families nourished their souls with religious songs. Top government officials attended the event. Among the congregation gathered at Our Lady of Consolata Cathedral in Nyeri County was the spouse to the Deputy President, Pastor Dorcas Gachagua. was the annual Thanksgiving service that brought together members of the Kenya Police Service, Directorate of Criminal Investigations, Administration Police, Kenya Prisons, Kenya Forest Service, and the Kenya Wildlife Service. It is here that she pledged to promote the family unit by ensuring uniformed officers had a chance to formalize their unions in church.
We have decided, together with the office of the IG and the clergy, we want to be conducting uniform matrimony every year. And you see how we can fund it, so that there is no excuse.
She further stated the legal documents will help families access benefits, urging the officers to embrace the importance of having families.
When you may be called home by God during your line of duty, your wife and children are left to be destitute because what you worked for cannot be given to them because they are not legal.
The Mass was conducted by Most Reverend Peter Cairo, Archbishop Emeritus, Archdiocese of Nyeri.
Atulize Mwenyezi Mungu aendelee kutubariki na amani hiyo ya kudumu.
During the service, the uniformed officers were praised for their dedication to serving the nation. They were lauded for their selfless service to the nation, especially those who paid the ultimate price with their lives.
The national government is set to invest more in education systems and infrastructure in Turkana County. The move is aimed at standardizing and improving competitiveness in counties across the country. Head of Public Service Felix Koskei, who was in Turkana, said the government is aware of the status of education in the county and plans are underway to increase investments in the education industry.
To become cities.
North Rift, Northern Kenya are areas that are being targeted to bring it up to speed, to bring it to a level where they can compete equally with the other counties that perhaps are in areas that are lucky to have developed in education-wise.
We are rating number last in Kenya. It will be shame for any leader, including myself, to try to create something that will interfere with the motivational effects of a teacher.
A section of Meru leaders has castigated the classification of miraa as a drug by NACADA, led by Meru Senator who doubles up as the Senate Deputy Speaker Kathuri Murungi. The leaders said that they will table an amendment bill seeking to strike out miraa from the list of drugs in the country. Speaking in Maua Town, Senator Kathuri further said that the region fully depends on miraa and the government should in turn help them find new markets. Mwenda Ithiri, minority leader at Meru County Assembly, echoed the calls urging Meru MPs to ensure that they protect the crop. Miraa has been rated third in the latest report by NACADA on upscaling the fight against alcohol and drug abuse in Kenya.
Huko Senate this week nimeanza amendment ya Narcotics Act ndio tutoe miraa katika orodha ya madawa ya kulevya. Na nikiwa Senate mutasikia wiki ijayo nikiwasilisha my amendment bill.
Nyambene tuko na miraa, Nyambene tuko na makadamia. Nataka kusema ya kwamba Gavana Kawira ape miraa na makadamia heshima. Huko kwetu makadamia inauza shilingi 20. Ninaenda kwa gavana kumweleza maneno ya miraa, amekataa kusikiza. Nimemweleza watu wetu wanateseka huko makadamia, amekataa kusikiza. Sasa hivi ndio nauliza, kwani miraa inaambiwa inahesabiwa kwa gari? Kwani miraa ni sumu?
The Ilchamus community has pledged to put their political differences aside and work with the government of the day for the greater good of the community and the country at large. Speaking in Rongai, Nakuru County, former IEBC Commissioner Thomas Letangule said that they are ready to sit down with the president and discuss areas of cooperation and ensure that the community is not left out in national development.
Kwa hivyo waziri uko hapa, tunaomba utupe hiyo nafasi tuone rais, tuende tusameane. Sisi kama jamii ya Ilchamus tunaomba tuone rais ili tuende tuombe hiyo msamaha ili tuone kama hata sisi tutaingia serikali.
And as the world marks Menstrual Hygiene Day, youth groups in Laikipia County have embarked on a campaign to educate their peers on matters of menstrual hygiene to counter menstrual shaming. The initiatives that are aimed at helping normalize conversations around menstruation have roped in boys with stakeholders hoping to break myths and taboos associated with menstruation.
Young African Women Initiative rolled out a program to primarily focus on empowering male pupils in primary schools in Nakuru in order to help fight the menstrual stigma. According to Yawi Executive Director Fidelis Karanja, the initiative to educate boys was to ensure they are involved in the conversation. Girls were also taught on proper ways of handling sanitary towels, proper ways of disposal, and checking the quality of sanitary pads.
The sanitary towels have gone high in terms of cost, and so most of these children, especially from the informal settlement, they are not able to afford them, and even their parents cannot afford them. Number two, we're also asking the government actually to consider this as to continue supplying sanitary towels for free, especially for school-going girls, so that they don't miss classes.
Pia tungetaka mashule yawe na sehemu maalum kama chumba ambapo labda mtoto akifikiwa na hali hii anaweza kuwa anataka kupumzika ama anataka kuwa kufanya hali ya usafi. Itakuwa ni jambo la muhimu ikiwa kila shule inaweza kuwa na sehemu hiyo ndogo ya kuweza kuwasaidia.
During the occasion, Yawi donated over 500 sanitary pads to both girls and boys, with the male pupils being asked to forward the donations to their sisters, relatives, or neighbors. In Murang'a County, stakeholders have urged the government to begin the provision of free sanitary towels in all schools in a bid to reduce teenage pregnancies and increase access to education for all school-going adolescent girls. Led by Hilda Mwangi, the principal in charge of Mwana Wikio Secondary School, the stakeholders decried that many girls are still suffering in silence and require regular support to access the menstrual hygiene products.
We celebrate Del Monte, Kenya, because they have come to train our girls so that they don't have to leave school in the middle of the day because their menstrual cycle have begun.
So this is one of the challenges that really touched us, and we subscribed to impact women, at least around the community and within the company.
In Laikipia County, youths have embarked on a campaign to educate their peers on matters of menstrual hygiene to counter menstrual shaming. The groups are targeting schools and communities where talks on menstruation are rare. Grace Wanene from Drawing Dreams Initiative says the boys and men need to be engaged fully in these talks to help end period stigma.
So we want to make sure that people have the right information ya kufunza adolescents, boys and girls. Wanaume pia wame-embrace mambo ya menstruation kwa sababu
jamii kupata kuelewa kuhusu mambo ya menstrual health na mambo ya menstruation ndio isikuwe ni mambo ambayo inakubalika katika jamii.
They urge the government to zero-rate sanitary towels to ensure all girls, especially in pastoral communities, access the products. For Lunchtime News, I am Teresa Mutai.
14 minutes past the hour, we are taking our first breather. We'll be back with more news, including sports. Stay with us.
yanazidi kutokota kila siku katika Maza.
Kuanzia leo, kuwa macho.
Misukosuko katika ndoa.
What is this? I need you to trust me.
Furaha yangu ni kukuona wewe na Abel mkicheza pamoja.
Matatizo ya kimapenzi.
Kuna nini? Kate ndo anasababisha yote haya. Kate, ulaaniwe mpaka pale ambapo unalala.
Maza yarejea kwa vishindo. Pata uhondo kikamilifu kila Jumanne hadi Alhamisi kuanzia saa 1:30 jioni. Na katika kipindi cha Las Bandidas, Fabiola anapata kutambua ni nani alimwekea babake sumu.
With each passing day, Olegario stay is getting shorter and shorter.
Na je, Amparo atafunga ndoa na mtu asiyempenda?
This wedding makes no sense at all, Amparo. You don't love that person.
Usikose kutazama Las Bandidas kila Jumapili hadi Alhamisi kuanzia saa 2 usiku. KBC Channel 1 kwa vipindi na burudani tosha.
Kiswahili kitukuzwe.
Kwanza kabisa tunafaa tujue nafasi ya mzazi kwa ajili ya kijana. Mwanzo kabisa mzazi ni mwelekezi, mzazi ni mshauri.
Kwa nini tuseme vijana hawezi kujitolea maamuzi? Kitu cha kwanza utapata kwamba wanahitaji mtu wa kumuelekeza au wa kuwaelekeza vijana ili kufuata njia inayostahili.
Uhuru huu, kama vile ambavyo tumeambiwa uhuru mwingi huwa utumwa, napingana na hili kabisa. Kwa sababu ukipatiwa uhuru ule, unaweza kujidhibiti katika uhuru ule ambao umepewa.
Usikiapo urembo si wa poda za mapambo, au kujivisha vyombo vya dhahabu kwa urembo.
Kiswahili kitukuzwe.
Nitakufa ni waondoke.
Toke mwende.
Mresh, ubuka chini.
Mom, huku si kwetu.
Si kwangu, ni kwenyu. Huku ni kwa budako.
Unaonekana umepata jiko.
Mimi siwezi mind aolewe tu na Jabali.
Of course.
What's happening to marriages nowadays?
Usiwe mtakuwa na pesa kukuliko. Mnaenda wapi?
Kwani ulimtishia unataka kwenda ng'ambo? Well, I'm not a coward to just up and live.
I don't care what it takes, but you're going nowhere.
Keep dreaming.
Trish, unafanya nini hapa?
You know what, if you're okay with Mama Jabali being your co-wife, I'm not okay with Trish being here.
Haunitishi.
Your handsome face will be all over very soon.
Are you serious?
Pete, my darling, I am here to stay.
우리가 그런다고 세상이 변할 것 같아요? 분노할 땐 분노해야죠.
필요해요. 우리 위치에서 세상을 바꾸면 되는 거야.
자비를. 우리 시어머님한테 나쁜 짓 한 사람도 혼내주세요.
비켜!
공조를 하라고요?
나 주사를 방해해. 엉망을 만들라고.
예?
한 번 더 걸리면 진짜 끝장나는 거야.
갈 때까지 끝까지 갈 거니까 방해하지 말라고.
막으려면 막아봐.
이게 사제로서의 제 일입니다.
Thank you for staying with us. You're watching the Lunchtime News. Welcome back. Now, a section of investors have backed the Association of Real Estate Stakeholders in a bid to eliminate the surge of fraudsters in the real estate sector. The investors are decrying the surge in unscrupulous traders posing as real estate agents to con unsuspecting buyers of land. Speaking during the issuance of title deeds to more than 800 investors, the association chairman, Kinywa Wairato, said the association will restore confidence in people since they will work together to eliminate those taking advantage of Kenyans.
Kile ningetaka niambie watu ni wasiwe na hofu tena wakati wanaekeza, na single mothers niwaambie tumewafungulia mlango wa kulipa pesa kidogo mpaka mtu aweze kumiliki shamba inaweza itanishwa na jina lake, kwa sababu kile tunaangalia ni watu waweze kusaidika, na wakati tunaangalia vile watu watasaidika tunaangalia pande zote, ndio kila mtu awe na nafasi yake na awe na kitu ambacho ni chake. kile tunafanya ni kufanya ijulikane zaidi, ndio watu wasinunue watu ambao sio association. Tunaweza kosa kumaliza shida za zamani, lakini zile zinaanzia saa hii. Tutaongelesha watu hata kabla shida ikue kubwa. Kwa hivyo tutafanya watu wasipoteze pesa zao.
On to politics, the Finance Bill 2023 that is currently at the public participation stage continue to face resistance from a section of Kenyans, with the newly rebranded Port Sacco CEO Dedan Ondieki being the latest to voice his concerns. Meanwhile, Defense Cabinet Secretary Eden Duale has faulted opposition leader Raila Odinga over the cessation remarks he made recently.
Kenyans have expressed mixed reactions over the Finance Bill 2023 and the housing levy proposed by the government. Newly rebranded Port Sacco Chief Executive Officer Dedan Ondeki is concerned that the proposed finance bill will force Kenyans to dig deeper into their pockets at a time when the economy is not doing well due to the high cost of living.
The Finance Bill 2023 could be a good thought. The only problem I see is it has been brought in too fast. Citizens have not been given time to have a look at it, give opinions, and then from there proper decision could be made, especially on the 3% charge on housing.
This as leaders earlier to Kenya Kwanza in Baringo County had a difficult time trying to sell the government's agenda.
For us to address this problem, we must take the painful action. We must sacrifice. Lazima tuchikaze ndio tuweze kuishi maisha mazuri.
Atupingi, manake atuelezi, atujui kama inaweza kuwa ni jambo nzuri, lakini tunataka wananchi pia wapate kuchangia ama kuelimishwa.
Former IBC Commissioner Thomas Letangule has called on the government to subject the finance bill and the housing levy to public participation in order to ensure Kenyans are well informed.
Hii affordable housing unalipa 3,000 per month. Na nimuge, hiyo nyumba ukimaliza ni yako. Na ukikomboa ni 10,000 kwa mwezi. Hiyo position yetu yote wa mapangata kusema imeongezwa sijui tafanya nini, sema tani kuwa na kwako kuliko kuishi kwa mtu. Sio kweli? Kwa hiyo iko siasa mingi. Nataka ikuje bunge, muone ukweli, tujue vile iko. Lakini tusiongee ya barabara hapa.
And plans to impeach Siaya Deputy Governor William Wadwol has received mixed reactions from the area residents. Siaya County Assembly is set to consider a motion for the impeachment of the Deputy Governor on Monday 29th May 2023, following a notice published in the Kenya Gazette by Speaker George Okode.
Sasa kama inasemekana pesa inaibwa Siaya na Wadwol anasemekana hii pesa ni ya wananchi, ikikosekana kama wanasema wana impeach Wadwol, sisi tutaenda barabarani ni kusema kama kwamba Wadwol waenda na orengo yake.
Governor na assistant wake, vita inaendelea sana na inatakana assistant wake arudi atulise ball, ndio tunaweza pata maendeleo hapa Siaya. Vita yenye tunaona inaendelea hii haitatupatia maendeleo yoyote. Tunakufa watu kama watu wa huku Siaya, tunakufa kufatana. Vita itaendelea mpaka na miaka inaendelea kuendelea, lakini hatuoni tofauti yenye tutapata hapo. Sasa assistant atulize kabisa, tulise ball ili governor aendelee na kuwe chini yake vile walimchagua. Haikukuwa ati akuwe juu yake, lazima kuwe chini yake.
Tilio Marco for Lunchtime News.
Thank you, Tilio, for that report. Now, a cross-section of leaders in Nakuru now says the re-emergence of criminal gangs in the area is a threat to regional peace and national stability. Lands and Public Works Chief Administrative Secretary Kimani Ngunjuri and the patron to Kenya Internally Displaced Persons, KIDPO, Peter Tena, want security agencies to investigate the alleged recruitment of youth in outlawed gangs and sects and prosecute members of the establishments.
Speaking separately in Nakuru, the two leaders expressed concern at how some politicians are using the gangs to stir controversy for political capital. Their sentiments come only days after a mammoth crowd of Rodi youth in a display of solidarity with ex-Mungiki leader Maina Njenga, clashed with police at DCI headquarters in Nairobi. Advising you to shun antagonistic and disruptive behavior, the CAS reassure youth in the country of an elaborate, progressive and inclusive youth empowerment program.
Ninaona hii mchezo ya siasa imeanza, na hasa niona imeanza kuhusisha vijana wetu. Wale niona walikuwa kwa DCI Nairobi. Tafadhalini vijana, msitumwe kwa kisiasa. Msikubali kutumwa kwa kisiasa. Na hao wanawatumia mnawajua.
Tena, on the other hand, challenge security agencies to clamp down on criminal gangs without fear or favor.
Tafadhali polisi, tuokoeni katika taifa hili na magenge. Mtu okoe na magenge. Tumelia tukaletewa OCPD juzi. Hapa akatusaidia na confirm. Saa hizi mmerudishia tena grupu zingine kwa mlango wa kando. Kitu ambaye ni outlaw, polisi haiwezi shirikiana na mtu outlaw.
Women leader Eunice Ngangari appealed to the youth to refrain from the progressive movements but instead seek government programs for opportunities to improve their livelihoods.
Wamewaingisha kwa Mongeki, wameingisha kwa geni zingine. Wacha tumeomba siku ya leo wasitumalizie watoto. Tuko na shida na watoto wetu.
The government has been urged to remedy historical land injustices countrywide and ensure the issue of internally displaced persons is dealt with once and for all. More than 500 IDPs from Nakuru have also called on the government to resolve land conflicts that have persisted in the country for years. Speaking in Nakuru, the group made up of people displaced in the 2007 clashes said although previous administrations had made progress, a few people continue to suffer after they were left out in resettlement initiatives.
Internally Displaced Persons Organization patron Peter Tena said that some of the IDPs left the displacement camps in 2008 but had nowhere to call home, further pointing an accusing finger at officials from our local administrations, alleging that they mishandled the initial phase of compensation and resettlement.
Shamba za wadhiriwa hazina kesi, tafadhali hazina, kwa sababu serikali ndio ilinunua. Tunataka tuwe katika mashamba tulime. Tupate hii chakula, inasemekana ati chakula hakuna. Hakuna haja ya kutuchukulia chakula. Sijui wanasema ati chakula inachukuliwa kutoka Amerika na sehemu zile zingine. Ati hili matajiri fulani watajirike. Hapana. Wacheni tukuze uchumi wetu katika agriculture. Tujipatie chakula shibe hapa katika nchi yetu ya Kenya.
The Directorate of Criminal Investigations was also urged to reopen a probe on former members of the National Coordination Consultative Committee on IDPs over the alleged loss of billions of shillings meant for resettlement of people displaced in the 2007 and 2008 post-election violence. Land Chief Administrative Secretary Kimani Ngujiri assured the group that the state will audit all land bought with taxpayers' money for purposes of settling IDPs.
There are shambas mingi ambayo kuna shida. Ilinunua na watu wengi kutoka sehemu tofauti. Wenyeji huko wakaenda wakasettle. Hatuwezi kuwafukuza. We must look for the way. Tuone kama wataweza kuwa wenye walikuwa na mashamba kama Waitiki wawe compensated na wale wako wakuwe settled.
Mimi ni muadhiriwa wa 207, tumehaidiwa mara nyingi na sasa leo tumekuja tu kujimwaga na kujiomba. Ni kwa sababu hakika tulihaidiwa kwamba tutaingia mashamba yetu kabla ya mwezi wa 3 na tukahaidiwa kwamba tutapewa hata fertilizer na mahindi ili tuweze kupanda.
A family with 3 children living with disability in Loitip, Baringo South is pleading for assistance to facilitate the children access a special school, medication and basic amenities. Joel Pasa Lach, the father of the children, says he has no source of income and is unable to fend for his disabled children who require round-the-clock care. He is now appealing to well-wishers to come to his aid.
The father of 3 is at his wit's end, struggling to feed his family and take care of his children who are severely disabled. Joel Parsalaju is a fisherman, says it is now 1 year since he was forced out of his home following flooding of the neighboring Lake Baringo that rendered him and his family of 9 homeless.
Sijajua kama wanatembea ama watatembea, manake changamoto yenye nilipata juzi tu ama usaidizi, tayari sasa nimepata nafasi kwamba nimesaidiwa mpaka Kijebe ambayo wamefanyiwa assessment. Bado nangojea waende sasa wakae huko watibiwe. We're just waiting the report from the Kijebe. So alafu nipeleka.
An official from the Education Department in Baringo County visiting the family to assess the situation decried increased cases of negligence of children with disability within Baringo South. She appealed for increased public awareness even as she recommended the father of the disabled for reaching to get assistance to raise the trio. Parsalaj is calling on Lucia to assist his children with assistive devices and funds for beddings and regular physiotherapy clinics at the Kijebe Specialist Clinic, which is 200 kilometers away.
Tunashukuru Mungu sana kwa sababu Mungu amefanya na aendelee kufanya. Tunashukuru pia wale wahisani wengine wenye walikuja, hata vile tunaona sasa maisha ya watoto yanaendelea kubadilika. Tunaendelea tu kuomba kama kuna wahisani wengine, kwa sababu watoto wanataka wapelekwe shule na pia waendelee wapate matibabu, kwa sababu wakiendelea kukaa hivi sio vizuri watoto wakae nyumbani kama waendi shuleni.
Brian Onsom reporting for Lunchtime News.
State ministers for works, transport and infrastructure from the Great Lakes region have partnered in the construction of the standard gauge railway SGR from Mombasa through Naivasha to Kampala and beyond in a move aimed at boosting regional trade. Speaking during the inspection of the dry port in Malaba, Transport and Infrastructure, Cabinet Secretary Muchuma said that Kenya and Uganda have identified various setbacks to trade between the two countries. They affirmed collaboration to increase road networks between the one-stop borders to cover 20 kilometers to reduce road congestion. His Ugandan counterpart, Minister Moses Echueru, lauded the Kenyan and Ugandan government for collaboration to address challenges they are facing as a region, especially in trade.
The fullness of time is taken all the way to Congo so that it can make this region a transport hub, and so that we can be able to foster faster movement of goods and people and to deepen our integration as a region. We have also identified a number of challenges that are related to scanning processes within the border. We have suggested increase of equipment that is going to be used for making sure that scanning is faster with backup machines on both sides. We have also discussed ways of enhancing the parking yard and making sure that the clearance is done in the parking yard.
We, the ministers, have really no choice but to really cascade the wishes and the aspirations both of our principals and also of the citizens of these two countries to make sure that we coexist and we complement each other. Against that background, we have been given tasks as ministers responsible for transport. And those tasks include what the minister said. One of it is to make sure that the movement of goods from Mombasa through Uganda to the neighboring countries of South Sudan, DR Congo, Burundi, and Rwanda is seamless.
And welcome to Channel 1 Sports News. Rodrigo hit a brace to earn Real Madrid a 2-1 win over Sevilla in La Liga last evening, setting his side 4 points clear of third-place rivals Atletico Madrid. Madrid, who won the Copa del Rey, FIFA Club World Cup and UEFA Super Cup this season, were without the injured Karim Benzema and Vinicius Jr.